but now I can hear you because you unmuted yourself.
Hey, Kelsey, you're live now.
Perfect. Okay, we have everybody except for Vicky. So, Bernie, if you want to unmute yourself and take it away.
Okay, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's kind of weird not being able to see everybody, just some of you. So if you need something, just unmute and we'll do it that way. Keep in mind that this is being live streamed because it's a public meeting and stuff. So we do have to kind of be mindful that we've got, the outside could be looking in. Mark, is there any way that we know if people are seeing us, or do we have any handle on that? Or can Mark speak?
He can speak. He might have stepped away to go do some other work.
I don't think there's any way to tell besides someone telling us that they're watching us live. So, but yeah, it's being streamed onto YouTube.
Okay. So if somebody speaks, do they automatically become visible on the other people's screens, Kristen?
Yes. Usually whoever's talking pops up.
Okay, good.
Then goes back away once the next person comes on. It kind of rotates through.
Okay. So we'll have kind of an audio rule here. If people have something that they need to say and I can't see you, feel free to just go ahead and speak, and then we can see you and hear you. So that'll be kind of unusual and unique to this meeting, but so with that, let's go ahead and get our meeting started. It's 6:32. So with that, I'm very happy to call to order this meeting of the Cultural Arts Commission. It seems like forever since I've seen all your faces. And so this will be lovely just to get kind of connected with all of you again. Sorry for the delay. This COVID thing kind of slipped in there and kind of has changed some things. So we have let's do a quick roll call real quick just to make sure that everybody's here. Let's see, Sky and Ava.
Here.
Roxanne, here. John, are you here? John Lyles?
Trying to figure out, did I unmute?
There it is. Yep. If anybody can figure out an unmute button, it should be you, my friend. All those years of working at it.
It keeps disappearing on me, so I'm like, where'd it go?
And then Jeff is here, and Kristen, and is Sean here?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, good. So that's great. I think we've got, so everybody but Vicky Poppin is here. Okay, great. So I thought one thing that'd be a little bit different tonight, other than everything is being different. I'd like to just kind of, in the interest of just kind of getting reconnected a little bit, maybe just go around and everybody just maybe spend like a minute and tell us how you are and what you've been up to. And let's start with the Bowies, and you guys get 2 minutes since there's two of you and one of you just graduated. So everybody just take a minute. Remember, we're talking, the public might be looking, but I think it's important we just kind of get regrounded and see how everybody's doing. So Sky and Ava.
All right, sounds good. Do you want to go or you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay, I'll start it off. We're hanging in there. I've mostly been working from home and maybe going to the office once a week to get supplies. Construction was still essential, so we didn't slow down at all. In fact, it's been even busier.
Wow.
Yeah, and just watching all three of my girls do online school, and Mira finish out her college year and do online singing to finish those classes. And Ava actually she could have been done, but she wanted to continue out her AP stuff. So she just took the test last week. Okay. And then, okay. So Ava, you go. So basically that's it. You go.
Yeah, I'm still doing my AP calculus class, and that's the only class I'm doing right now, so I can get college credit for it. And I'll be done hopefully Friday this week. It's been hard not getting to enjoy my senior year and actually graduate because I worked so hard to, keep a 4.0 and graduate with advanced honors. And I will get that, but I won't really get the experience and hear my name called up there. But we've been doing fun things at home. Like we had a whole Disney themed day where my mom cooked a bunch of Disney themed foods, and we watched the rides because we were supposed to go there, but we couldn't. So I've been doing pretty good.
That was a fun day. Yeah. A lot of family time as everybody else. And yep.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, good. And congratulations again, Ava. That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
John, how's life been?
There, unmute. Yeah, the thing keeps disappearing. Yeah, been working as a home teacher for my kids. That's been different. And I already cooked anyways in the family, so that was nothing new. It just did more of it. Been working on, I know Bernie knows we have a large deck program that we're doing. So we've got the pool going, but we're working on the deck.
Cool.
And just today, I finally have been able to go back to work. Our company's we've been awarded that PPP program, the payroll protection plan
Oh, good.
loan.
Good.
So I went in today for the first time. They've been running with the skeleton crew doing virtual webcasts of auctions and whatnot. So now I get to go back and help them out with some creatives that they've been trying to add to these events. So
Awesome.
you're doing that.
Good. And the kids are okay and everybody's all right?
Yeah, they're stressed out about their 2.5 hours worth of schoolwork that I got to do every day, waking up at the crack of 11. Thomas is a trooper. He wakes up, 7, 8 o'clock, and I come out somewhere else, and he's already typing away on his computer. He just wants to get done and get on with his day. So I can really appreciate that.
Yeah, a lot of life lessons are going to be learned here. We don't even know what they are yet, probably.
Yeah. Pollyanna started a new job. She's working for Umpqua Bank, and it got her fully set up downstairs, so she's not interrupted by distance learning and
Still
the
kind of-
dog and us.
Still kind of an underwriter job.
Yes, but being paid what an underwriter should be paid in this region.
Good. Awesome. Good for her. Awesome. So, Jeff, I can't see you yet, but would you like to say a few words?
There we go. I don't think I'll take a whole minute because all I've been doing is gardening. That's it.
That's great.
And enjoying the garden.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been pretty much sticking at home. I have been out to a couple of nurseries. I haven't been to the grocery store yet. Having everything delivered.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to go to New Seasons on Wednesday. I'm going to break out.
There you go. Do they have special hours for seniors?
Yeah, I think they do, but I think I'm just gonna go at a regular time.
I go early on Tuesdays to Safeway. Just
I think they limit the people that come in, so
yeah,
doesn't really make any difference.
good. And the dogs are okay.
Dogs are great.
Okay.
Boring life, but I feel very grateful that I've got all this outdoor space I can just wander in all the time.
No kidding.
You are the same way, John, and anybody else that lives on the property.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a nice feature to have. All right, Casey, how's things been for you?
Hello. It's been a while. Yeah, it just kept me really busy. I just attend a PCC to get the interior design classes and kind of start painting. Yeah, sort of my life right now.
Well, so are you doing classes online at PCC?
Yeah,
Okay.
they change all the class to online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an interesting experience?
Yeah, kind of learning some color thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Started.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to the topic. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, Roxanne, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
I think we just
It's
lost.
learning to unmute.
It looks like we just lost Roxanne. Oh, Roxanne, are you back now? You're muted though. And Vicky came in, just so you're aware, Bernie.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Hello.
Roxanne,
Made it.
Roxanne, are you there? Did we lose you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There you come. Okay, now I'm seeing. There we go.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I've been great. Been really busy with homeschooling, or I don't even want to call it homeschooling because it's not that, but distance learning. We've had some rough adjustments. Oh no, I'm sorry, my dogs. Hang on a second. I will have to move somewhere else.
Looks like they got the Hound of Baskervilles out.
I'm going to take you down into the basement with me. Yeah, just been doing the whole distance learning thing and making art when I can and sewing when I can and reorganizing. Oh, I'm sorry. Geez, hold on a second.
Be careful. Why don't we do this? Let's jump over to Vicky, because I don't want you to like fall down this little flight of stairs while we're watching. That'd just be the height of bad taste, right? So why don't you finish what you're doing? Vicky, we're just doing a 1 minute for each person to just tell us what you've been up to so we can get kind of reconnected. So why don't you tell us what's been going on with you?
Well, we stay at home a lot anyway.
Yeah.
So it's been a huge change for us, but it's weird. I was telling Shanna earlier today that the fact that we can't go is what bugs us. You know, we wouldn't have anyway.
Right.
But my garden and my yard have never looked better. My house is clean as a pin. Of course, it's really tiny. It only takes me about 45 minutes to clean it anyway. But, I've been doing a lot of cooking. I've been doing a lot of gardening and, just watching a lot of binge watching, a lot of Netflix. And that's about it. Scott's been the one doing all of the creative outlet. He's been painting up a storm.
Oh, good.
Just get by every day.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was telling Shanda earlier, too. The days seem to take forever. The days seem really long and boring. But the time has just flashed by. I mean...
Yeah, that is weird.
March 1st seems like it was months ago. So I can't figure that quite out.
Yeah, we're in our, I just heard on the news we're in our 57th day of the work at home thing. And it's just like, 57 days? What?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear it's going pretty well at your house. Back to you, Roxanne. Are you good?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm good. Things have been a little chaotic up until about a week ago when I changed our distance learning format and made it more simplified.
Oh.
Yeah, my kids were not happy. They were really not doing well, but it's because of all the Zoom calls. So, I had to just pare things down and we're a lot happier now. So,
cool.
Yeah, and I've just been cooking a lot and sewing a lot more than I used to and gardening a lot more than I used to. So there's good things about this, but I miss real life. And I'm looking forward to some semblance of that again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sometime.
Yeah, sometime. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I think that's all our members. Sean, would you like to give us a quick update?
Yeah, sure. I just continue to work from home. I work for the state of Oregon. I'm a senior project manager there. So thankfully, the state has been very accommodating for some of the workers to be able to work from home. My position, fortunately, I can do from home. So I've been working from home since like March 13th, I think. So it's been a while. So adjusting to that, the kids are doing their schoolwork from home, doing that remotely, doing piano lessons remotely through FaceTime, I think, finding all these different ways to try and keep life normal and keep to routines and patterns and still, not go crazy. And so far we've managed to do so. With a 14-month-old at home has been a challenge as well. She's active and keeps us on our toes, so that's good, I guess. Yeah, we're doing good. We're all hanging in there and keeping busy with city council as well. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. Cool. Well, I'll do my turn quickly. It's, when you're retired, not a lot has happened. Like, Jeff says, as long as we can get outside and get some fresh air. And so on the good days, I've been able to get out and get some bike rides. My wife's having more problems with her back, though. She's got a herniated disc that happened on May 1st. And so we've been working on talking to her doctor and the neurosurgeon and getting stuff scheduled. So I've been cooking more and learning to cook. Last night I made, with all of Carol's help, of course, some pretty fancy bean soup and some cornbread. And so it was that was magical for me in the kitchen to pull that stuff off. So Carol does all of our cooking up until now. So, but we're getting by pretty good and stuff. And my granddaughter Lillian should have just graduated from Sherwood too, with a whimper kind of. But it is what it is, like Ava said. So, but otherwise we're doing pretty good, and I'm getting some music done in my studio. So we just feel fortunate that we're doing okay. So, well, we should probably get rolling into our meeting here. I just thought it'd be good to get kind of caught up with each other a little bit, since we haven't seen each other and gotten any hugs or anything in a while. So with that, I didn't do a review. Shanda, the agenda that you sent me, that might be a Freudian slip, because we're not getting to eat out as often as we used to. So I'm calling the agenda a menu. Shanda, is the email that you sent me today, is that the same as the printed agenda for the group, or do you know?
Go with the printed agenda for the group. The bullet points today were just reminders of our latest conversation.
Okay. I'm just realizing I didn't print that one for myself, which is bad. Do you happen to have one in front of you?
We could grab one.
In the comment section of Teams, I put the link to the PDF online if anybody needs to reference it.
Are you able to access that?
The minutes or the agenda?
Oh, sorry, the agenda, not the minutes from last.
Well, we do need to approve. I was going to review the agenda and then approve the minutes, but let's approve the minutes first. Did people have a chance to look at the minutes?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to find it.
Was that sent out with the agenda last Friday then, Kelsey? Is that right?
It was. Here, I'll get you the link, just a second.
I'm not seeing where comments are on the screen I'm looking at. Let me close people.
You want to look for those 3 dots, and then you could look for the chat window.
Well, I see the chat.
It's in the chat.
But she was saying it's under comments.
Yeah, it's show conversation, and you should see it over there as a link up at the top.
Bernie, it's in chat, not comments.
I'm sorry. I thought you said comments. Now I got it.
She did, but she meant chat.
And it was the link. Was it the link at 6:32?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to review this agenda. Okay. So we've done our call to order. We've already let's go ahead and review this agenda. We were going to approve February's minutes.
There's the link for the minutes.
Would it make sense for, oops. Why don't we take a second and review those minutes so that we can approve those and get that done, rather than leave it as an undealt with item, if that's okay. So can people open that last link and just review those? Was somebody disagreeing with me on that? What was that just a child's voice?
Kelsey, did you also email that agenda?
Shanda emailed the agenda.
Oh, okay, because for some reason when I go on chats, it won't let me go to this meeting. It goes to my chats from my
Got it.
Teams thing.
Yeah, it would have gone out on Friday.
Are the rest of you able to review those, the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, those minutes look pretty clean to me. Thank you, Kelsey. Did others have questions about the minutes? Or do you need more time to finish reviewing them? Okay. So let's do this. So on the topic of the minutes, have people had a chance to look at that? Or is anybody?
John, I need you to say that out loud.
Gotcha. I'll move to accept the minutes as they're written.
I'll second.
Okay, great.
That's Sky.
I'll second.
Okay.
That's Sky.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and we have a motion to accept the minutes. So all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, all those opposed? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and accept those minutes as they are. And I'm going to jump back over here to the agenda for a second. Sorry for the delay, or the minutes. Wrong one. And here we go. Okay, and so our next agenda item is for Shannon to give us an update for the center, which should be different, at least, right?
It is. So, hi.
Hi.
Reading those minutes from February feels like another lifetime almost.
No kidding.
But we are at the center. Our latest news is that we are forging ahead with summer camp, a modified summer camp program based on conversations we've been having with the governor's office and with based on the state guidance. So we are remaining with our summer camp opening date of June 29th, and it looks like we're going to go for 7, possibly 8 weeks, but we're really modifying the schedule. So small camp sizes, lots of sanitizing, a lot of the class length is truncated, and it's going to put a lot more on the staff there to make sure we're following all the guidelines and logging things daily and doing that. But I'm really excited for the chance for our summer camp program to continue.
Will the rules from the state require you to do like temperature checks and stuff on the way in, or do you know yet?
It looks like we will be doing that. That's what most camp programs are doing.
Yeah.
In order to function.
Will you have a need for possibly some more volunteers to help with that?
I'm not sure yet. I know Kristen and I will be talking about this, but right now it might be just staff. I feel more comfortable with staff doing things like taking temperatures, and we're asking. Volunteers are going to be more at risk than a usual summer, so
right.
We need to be really careful in what we ask people to do.
Right.
The biggest change for us this summer is, having limits on anyone in the center, so that affects all of our productions and all of our family matinee series that were remaining, and our we had a Broadway masterclass and a bunch of large productions in the building that are no longer happening. But the silver lining for that is the only thing happening in the building is summer camp. So we can really lock it down and have complete control over the cleanliness and sanitizing of the building, and really make sure we know who is in the building and where they went in the building. So no rentals of large parties of people.
Do you guys have, here's a question that's been asked a few times in the last couple of months. Do you have adequate PPE?
Yeah, the city of Sherwood has been pretty great in making sure people will have that. Okay. Right now, no one is working in the building full time. Right. We check in and pop in. I think all of us are in there about once or maybe twice. The city of Sherwood has been really great. making sure everyone has what they will have what they need when they go back.
Okay, cool. And
So that's our big pivot right now, is pivoting to modified summer schedule. We're also hosting traffic court for the month of June. We're utilizing our large space to help with the backlog of court cases in the city. We also held a Red Cross blood drive a few weeks back, which again, it's great. Like, that's why we have a big, flexible, open space with a lot of ventilation and a lot of exits and entrances. We can do things like really be a civic building and really be a civic center, not just a theater space. So those are things that are exciting to me.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, people can come in the front, get their shots, and go out the back door behind the stage.
Yeah, there's so many ways in and out.
Yeah, just put arrows, and that's great. I hadn't thought about the egress advantage there.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we talked a little bit earlier about this, but it's probably worth just to work a few notes here about what's going on with the budgeting processes getting started again. Is there anything that we should know about or thoughts you have?
I think, the budget process is just going to be very different this year. It is very different. Everyone needs to project what they think their department will use through the end of the fiscal year. Obviously, all those projections that were done before March are different now.
Yeah.
As it relates to the Cultural Arts Commission, is just know that we had a small line item in there for public art, and we'll see what comes of that. But everyone is, of course, trying to be as fiscally responsible as possible right now.
Sure.
With the unknowns. I feel like everything is a little bit unknown.
Just a little bit, huh? Seems like it'd be more than a little, but okay. Okay. All right. And
any questions?
Yeah. Any questions for Shanda?
Yeah, I do. I'm just.
What's up, Sky?
It's Sky. Can you see me?
Hey,
Hi.
Yeah.
I've just been really curious thinking about you guys and what you're doing. And so you haven't been working at the center. You've been mostly working from home. Is there somebody always at the center, or no, or just what does that look like?
Yeah. So the building is closed to the public.
Right.
So we have not been working in the center. I know Kelsey's there every once in a while. Leah's there every once in a while. I'm there doing inventory sometimes, or like we had our floor painted. It's freshly painted in there. Public Works is taking good care of the inside of the building. Fresh concrete on the outside. If anyone's seen the pockmarked concrete, is all gone and it's nice and smooth. Right. So taking advantage of the downtime to get some things fixed and done. I've been doing a lot of work with our renters, who are, mostly mom and pop dance studios and small nonprofits, trying to help them reschedule their events. We're trying to get them their refunds, trying to sometimes just talking with them on the phone and trying to talk through the new realities of what that's going to look like for their small business.
Yeah.
Trying to provide small business resources and hooking people up with different aid programs that are available. But yeah, we have a ton of renters who come through who are just, that's their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
That dance recital that was canceled is their big event of the year. So we've moved things. We keep moving things further back. We just scheduled someone who was scheduled in March, late March, moved her to May, then moved her to August, and now she's scheduled for February 2021 for her nonprofit group. But we're just,
yeah,
it's a lot of helping people through stuff, and also trying to figure out, as a building that hosts live events with lots of strangers in close proximity, what are things that we can do that make sense right now?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
participating in a lot of calls with other people in similar buildings or similar professions. That's been happening.
Okay.
A lot of just figuring stuff out. And
we've also done a lot. I mean, I hope everyone is following us on Facebook and Instagram, though. There's a lot of pivots towards online programming. Like, the art hasn't stopped. The art sharing and art making hasn't stopped. So we've been doing a lot of fun things. Like, we did Fouette Friday, where dancers sent in videos of themselves doing Fouette turns. We did National Dance Week. We actually extended it to 2 weeks, National 2 weeks. But we did that, participated in that. We do a What's on the Wall Wednesday every Wednesday. And I know John and Sean, I know your kids have done that a little bit, I feel. And that was fun. I think
on the wall.
The Howie Girl did too. What's on the Wall Wednesday is people send in art that they're making at home, and then we put it all on there, and then a cute video comes out of all the art on Thursday. So it's been fun. We've had some people participate who don't live in Sherwood, who live across the country, or who live in other cities too, but a lot of Sherwood adults and kids participate every Wednesday. So that's fun.
Is that another Kelsey production then, pretty much? If it's,
I think, yeah, Kelsey just puts those videos together.
Yeah, Leah puts out the call on Facebook, and then I put together a video of all the submissions on Thursdays.
Cool.
And then as we speak right now, Leah's putting up open mic night on our website, or sorry, our Facebook also.
How's that working?
So
this is the first night we've ever done it.
Are people just doing it from home?
She reached out to musicians that she knew, just so that we could control it more this first time with all the technology and everything. So there's about 5 musicians. I'm pulling that number out, but it sounds about right. That
And
submitted
what date again?
I'm sorry, what?
When will that be? What day?
Tonight, right now, as we're speaking, it's going live right now, but you'll be able to go back and watch it afterwards.
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
It's actually a really great roster of people. People who've performed at the center before for various events, or people who have some tie to Sherwood. Ellie Hartman is doing it. But it's a really nice group of singer-songwriters tonight.
Very cool. Fun. Very cool.
Yeah, we also put our art gallery, we had to cancel the art gallery opening reception.
Sure.
So that is now online. It went live about a month and a half ago, maybe, but people are enjoying it online. Art Walk is also online.
Did we
our events online.
Did we skip a catalog? How did that work?
So the summer catalog, we did not publish.
I was going to say, it's kind of hard to know what to publish in it.
Yeah, and it's a large expense if we don't know if we can actually go forward with the program. So we just got the go ahead on Friday, the 15th, that we are able to modify our summer program to hold it. So we're going to get the modified schedule out in through other means.
I was going to say the reason I thought of that is because you've got all those get shipped out with the paper, but but what do we have in lieu of having you going out to all the households? Do we have a pretty good mailing list or email list for Sherwood residents, or no?
We do. We have a big email list. We have a big e-news blast list, but we still could put something out to Sherwood households through the paper, but it would need to be not a fully realized catalog.
Right.
It's not going to be an 18-page, 16-page,
Right.
full color
Right.
thing.
Yeah. Just not,
Partly too, all the places that we would drop those, we can't drop those at our usual sites either. So it'll be a challenge, but we are pivoting and figuring it out. But yeah, we had a beautiful catalog with a beautiful Kelsey cover, and we're just not. Didn't feel like it was responsible to go forward with it right now.
If depending on what you end up with, if you need, an extra volunteer to help with the distribution of that in any way, let me know. Like Carol and I, every day we come up with multiple new ways that we realize the COVID thing is just changing our lives and everybody else's lives around us. And it's like, today is no different. So sorry to hear that on the catalog. And because I know, Kelsey, you do a great job on those. So we'll look forward to the fall, though. And hopefully there'll be some things in it in the fall, too. So good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're looking at this summer as a good pilot program for what the fall might look like with this. I can't see the regulations lifting all that much. So
right, but you'll get some good learning experiences out of doing events and doing the thing for the county and stuff, and then the city for the court, the traffic court. And it's a good reminder for all of us to drive safely so we don't end up in the traffic court, because how embarrassing would that be with everybody there? So Sky, how about an update from the Friends, please? If you have much of an update.
Well, to be honest, I don't really have much of an update. We haven't met, kind of like this is the first time we're meeting. We are planning to meet next week for the first time via Zoom or maybe this. And yeah, just trying to stay positive right now with the board that's biggest mission in life is to fundraise for the Arts Center, and just what that's going to look like in the new kind of world going forward with so many people in financial trouble and not being able to hold events and that sort of thing. So we're going to have to get creative, and hopefully we can figure out a good path forward. So wish us luck next week at our first meeting.
Yeah.
And I would say we were kind of on a roll getting some new members. Unfortunately, we had a lot of people kind of getting excited to join. So we do have one new member we already voted in, but there's a few others. Hopefully we can get back to that. But so I kind of feel like the steam was taken out, or what's the saying? Yeah. The wind was taken out of our wings, or that's not it either.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Sky.
Yeah.
I bet you're glad that you didn't put a lot of work into a gala for April.
Oh my gosh, yes. Kelsey and I actually had a little convo about that, and we were like, thank goodness we were not planning a gala this year, because that would have been, yeah. So
thank you, Mr. Sunshine. That was a good observation.
That's a very positive, yes.
Yeah.
We would have been extra mad and disappointed right now. So yes.
Kidding.
Somehow we must have just known.
You're the reason this all happened.
You're the reason.
Okay. So that's my update.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And let's see. Sean, I know you guys have continued to have council meetings. What can you give us as an update?
Yeah, we are staying busy. So we've obviously switched to online meetings. We've been doing everything through Microsoft Teams, similar to this. We really didn't miss a beat. We had a few kind of half remote, half in-person meetings at first, but then once the governor modified her executive order and put out new rules for public meetings, allowing cities to have fully virtual meetings. We've been doing them fully virtual, I think, for the last 2 meetings now, perhaps. We've got another meeting tomorrow night. It'll just be a work session. Just a couple things that we've been holding off on doing for a while, but we'll be meeting back, full meeting again, full agenda on June 2nd. But, outside of meetings, we've all been very busy. The mayor and city manager and many of us on council are meeting fairly regularly with elected officials from Washington County, with our representatives in Salem, to keep apprised of everything that's going on. So we've got our lobby group that works in Washington, D.C., that's keeping an eye on a lot of the federal packages, which we're going to be very dependent on. You've heard of all the stimulus packages and the CARES Act and what's coming to states. And so, obviously we're keeping a very close eye on that. Working again with, Washington County on the reopening plan. As you're all aware, 31 of 36 counties have opened just as of last week. 5 have not. 3 haven't applied yet, Washington County being one of those. Washington County has met 6 of the 7 criteria in order to open. Contract tracing being the one that they have not yet met. Working on that, though, and a lot of our regional partners are proactively volunteering, well, not proactively at this point, but actively volunteering with Washington County to get some people out there. There is an application actually out if somebody's interested in becoming a contract tracer. You can do that. I think it's on the city website, if I'm not mistaken. If not, just Google that through Washington County's site. So we're doing what we can, and we're working with a lot of our local businesses. And Bruce Coleman, our economic development director, has been fantastic in meeting with local businesses on preparing them for the reopening. So when we do finally get there, so they understand what all the guidelines are, and we're working with certain restaurants and businesses to accommodate some of the new rules that will be included in phase 1, because they'll still be quite burdensome to many of our local businesses with some of the guidelines that will need to take place. So we're working actively with them. So you'll hear more about that over the next weeks and months. And as was touched on earlier, the big one is budget committee. Where we have to keep moving every year with a budget, since we have a lot of changes to. I feel bad for David, our finance director. He had everything kind of planned out, and then suddenly this hit and really threw everything into a tailspin. He had to basically rework it. And so we're having our first budget committee meeting this Thursday. It'll be held all online as well. The city actually has just recently released, and I think it's available to the public as of tonight, the draft or the first version of the budget that we'll be looking at on Thursday. So anybody who's interested in that can find that on the city website as well to see how we're looking. I haven't had a full chance to look through all of it. I've only skimmed through it, but as you can probably guess, we've had some impacts to our budget, but this is what we do, right? And so, we've taken some of our money out of the some of our contingency, reserves, to help, towards the beginning of this process, to help some of our small businesses. We had an application process for some of our small businesses, and I want to say the number was like 93 or 94 small local businesses we were able to help them financially. So we're really doing what we can, and just, I know that a lot of people are anxious to get back to it. A lot of people don't want to get back to it and aren't ready to go back out. And so we all just need to be patient, be calm, be considerate to everybody, because everybody's got their own perspective and their own place that they're coming from. So now is the time for kindness and understanding, and nobody's right. Everybody's got their own opinion on this. So one thing I will say is, if you are going to go out, please wear a mask. So that I think we can all we should all be able to agree on. I'll leave it at that. So I think that's it for me.
Very good. Thanks, Sean. So did you say that, did the city apply for, and have they received any of the money from the PPP?
There's a lot going on with that. The local mayors are reaching out to the governor on the distribution of those funds. There's been some back and forth on how that's working. So stay tuned on that one.
Okay. I'm just imagining how complicated the government policies and procedures and mechanisms are, and now over the top of all of what they typically have to do, now they have to figure out how to deal with all this, the flow of this money.
It's frustrating at times because government, as you know, is a slow-moving glacier at times. It's not always built for fast, swift changes. And again, I work for the state of Oregon, and so our Department of Employment and Department of Revenue has just been slammed. They had a plan, but how do you plan for this? So it's difficult, and everybody's doing their best to get through it. We're all people, we're all humans. We live in this community too. So we're trying to do what we can for everybody. So just hope everybody can maintain some patience and some decency when they're out and about.
Yeah, I think the patience and kindness are the two that really resonate for me right now, because we need a lot of that, a lot of both of those. Okay, thanks, Sean. Our next agenda item, Shanda, was a citizen comment. Had you received any comments to go over tonight or no?
I have not.
Okay. All right. Then moving on to other business, I'd like to kind of interject something into other business. We had a little test call this morning where some of us got together and we talked a little bit. We were just kind of having a free-flowing conversation about what's going on. And I'd like to use just like a few minutes to talk about, just kind of maybe just to ask some questions like, what is it that our group can do now? What is it the center in our kind of our leaderships, our somewhat leadership role of the Center for the Arts and this Cultural Arts Commission? What can we do for the community? What can we do? How can we use public art to help the community deal with this situation? So I just kind of wanted to throw it out there and just kind of have some kind of conversations and questions about what value do we think we can bring in this difficult time where everybody's just kind of like, I think emotionally and kind of psychically, people are going to be kind of hunkering down for a while. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Their coworkers have lost their jobs. They're just kind of snuggling in and just holding on to each other real close. They're not going to be spending a lot of extra money. But are there things we could do from an art perspective or a public art perspective on somehow making public art available, or inexpensive but accessible art, and making it more accessible to our stakeholders here in the Sherwood community? Are there things that we can do? I'm not looking for specific answers or ideas. I'm just trying to kind of open up the doors of how do we think differently about what our commission does. There are things that what does the community really need right now? And how can we help contribute to that sense of community with what we do have, which is us and our love and our thoughts and our prayers and our creativity, because we are a pretty creative bunch too. But are there any things that come to mind that we could, maybe put on our agenda for next meeting, or, do a little bit of research to say, or maybe part of the research is just doing research about what other public art groups are doing around the state and around the region and around the country to bring some joy, for lack of anything else, just pure joy, even if it's just in little 5-minute increments, to our community.
So there's been more art happening, and I think that we've seen it more with What's on the Wall, and we did a What's on Your Walk one Wednesday when it was nice out. Sorry, my husband's yelling at my kids, but I think that we just really are, and Chanda and Kristen can talk way more about this, but there's just some things that have really warmed my heart that I've seen our community doing. I know that Amanda Bates from Symposium, and they also do Resonate, they put she took chalk, and on the Resonate building, they put big butterfly wings that people can go stand in front of and take pictures. So that's a fun little public art. They also did little dog ones right next to it too, so you can either take your dog or you can have two people sitting there. So that's a fun little interactive public art that will be temporary because she just did it in chalk, but just something that you can go interact with. And then I also was just driving today, and I'm going to try to hold up my phone. I'm not sure if you can see it. But this house is kind of over by the Sherwood Fire Station.
It's on Lincoln.
Yeah, they took yarn and just put this on their fence, wrapped their fence for that. So I think it's like really encouraging those cheap but really impactful public art things that just encourage people right now. That's my 2 cents.
And that makes me, maybe I'll just do a little drive around over the next couple of days too, and just see what things are out there. Maybe just see if I can just get some shots of things. I'm just trying to figure out how we can kind of bring a smile to people's faces, because I think a little bit can go a long way right now. I mean, I know some of the things I see on TV or online, I just go, oh, that is so great, and for like a half hour, I'll be kind of, buoyed up by that. So buoyed, get that, buoyed up, the Boyd household.
One thing we've been talking about is, how art brings people together, and how we can't do things inside the building right now, but that might be a little bit of an opportunity for us to start thinking outside the box. We have a giant outside of a building. We have windows, we have concrete, we have fences, we have all kinds of things from which great art could emerge. I have a lot of ideas, but I do want to hear from other arts commissioners. What comes to mind?
Just before I lose the thought on that, trailing off on yours, do we have access to any kind of a printer so that if we could get digital copies of various kinds of art, we could reproduce it relatively inexpensively and put it up on the fence over by the tracks? Does anybody have access to like relatively inexpensive printing, large scale printing?
So the fence has some, we've asked many times about using that fence, and there's some hard things about whether we can do anything with that fence.
Rules and stuff?
Well, it doesn't belong to us, apparently. It's like it's a federal railroad.
It's the rail, yeah.
Okay.
But there's so much fence art, you guys. If you want to go down a fun Google rabbit hole, Google chain link fence art.
Fence art.
But temporary things might work. I mean, signs do hang from that fence every once in a while.
Yeah. So, Shanda asked the question, what other ideas do y'all have about what we could do? Any ideas? Jeff, did you?
I have an idea. Yeah, probably we can have some visual art class, like painting with some artist, or making some cake with some professional, like once per week.
Like online, Casey, are you thinking?
Yeah.
So online.
So they just come over to your house and just trash your kitchen? Is that it? And we shoot it? No, I'm sorry.
We can put on the YouTube or something, or Facebook, so people can follow step by step.
I've seen a lot of those classes that you pay a small amount up front. Some of them is a lot up front, and then they ship you the materials, and then you get access to like this team meeting or some other meeting, and they walk you step by step through how to do the art project. It's a lot of getting it all to work. So
there's a lot of there are a lot of different models for arts delivery, I guess arts education delivery that are happening that we could certainly do with our teaching artists. I know a couple of our teaching artists have pivoted to that already, like presenting ready-made kits. I know Sprinkles of Joy, Kelly Pratt is doing that as well. Are you thinking more like a citywide something where citizens all over Sherwood come and pick up a packet and all do the same art together? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
They could all do the same project and then have their version of it in a window or something, and be virtual art, or not virtual art, but live art. They could share it on the website or the Facebook page, or I don't know.
Yeah, filling up windows is nice.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen? Oh, who's speaking? Is that Sky?
Oh, I was just going to say one little thing that I know people have talked about a lot, but somehow I don't know if we could do it at the center, but we all in our house love the idea of doing something with Christmas lights or just lights, making some type of a message or, display with a word or a symbol or something, because we all have those, and pretty easy. You already have it, like a message of hope or something.
Well,
I wish we had someone who knew about lights. If we had like a John Lyles someone. I don't know.
Paging John Lyles. Paging.
Hello.
I know.
I was just thinking at home, you were talking about home stuff. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to go really big for anybody to see it from our place.
Yeah, from your house, you're gonna have to go up and big. Yeah.
But you know how they've been in New York on the windows in buildings putting hearts, or what if we put a big heart in the window at the center, or something that was always up.
Yeah.
I have a lot of projectors that are sitting in my garage doing a whole lot of nada. So.
And we have walls. We have a giant brick wall.
John, those projectors can't stay out all night, though, can they?
No, they won't last outside at all, because you need special air filtration and all that stuff. So.
But Sky, when you first brought that up, were you talking about just at the center, or were you talking about in people's homes too?
I mean, everywhere.
Well, I like the idea of homes and everywhere, because the other thing that people have besides the Christmas lights is time.
Right.
And you're asking them to gen up some creativity to think about what that would be. But I like that idea. I think we should kind of think about that, maybe share some additional thoughts on that, because I think that's something I think we could get people to buy into.
And maybe the center could start it with a simple display in a window, and then ask everybody else to do their own and share it. Kind of like the, virtual art project.
What's on the wall Wednesday?
Yeah, there's been things like that that are going on in communities where people have had a theme, right? Like hearts or rainbows or whatever. And you just, draw stuff and stick it up on your wall or your windows and, just have a weekly theme or something like that.
Well,
people will be getting out a little bit more now if the weather hopefully starts to get a little nicer here. So it's just a nice thing to, brighten people's spirits.
Well, in healthcare workers and first responders, something that could especially recognize those contributions and stuff, that would be kind of cool too.
Just no scary stuff like they're doing on the Empire State Building, please. That was kind of big red light going around to look like the end of the world or something.
Oh. No, I was thinking more hearts and teddy bears, John.
Well, if you were to consider the projection option, there's a lot of stuff out there where you can do window clings, and then it becomes a projection surface to the windows themselves, and then you could project from inside the center where the projectors would be saved.
Oh, no, that would be cool.
Perfect.
Project from inside.
Yeah, a rear projector.
Is this what you're talking about, John?
Yeah, that's the one. No, when they have that big beacon that's going around, it's like Ghostbusters is going to show up or something.
Yeah, like Darth Vader's.
I don't know what's going on.
Like the opposite of comfort.
Yeah.
Right. Like emergency.
Well, that's a great idea, though. Maybe we could do something at the center. That cling stuff, is that very expensive?
I just know from stuff I've done for like Halloween projects, there's a Atmos fear, like scary fear effects. You can buy the same kind of stuff from other places too, but they sell a film that you can buy with their projection stuff that you buy with their scary Halloween stuff. But you can buy the film just separately, and I'm pretty sure you could probably find the film elsewhere. I did once, since I don't live on a trick-or-treating route. I did it at a friend's house. I just went to the Dollar Tree, and for Halloween, we used a green tablecloth from the Dollar Tree, and it looked amazing in the sense of a rear projection on there. But not to say you could experiment with different colored cloth like that and see how the projections turn out.
Is it like a giant gobo, like made of steel?
No, it's just like a adhesive film temporary thing you roll on the windows, kind of like where it makes it opaque, and then the image projects on from the back, and you see it like the old school television, a rear project television. It's like the TV had a screen surface that the light shined onto, and you saw the picture that way. That's what we do a lot in events. We have a full studio set up right now at work, and we've got a 20,000 lumen projector that's projecting. We're doing something for the symphony tomorrow. We have a living room, and they're reading to kids storybooks. And it's one of the, I don't know if it's Carlos or one of the other composers going to be reading a story, and then they're going to do some performances and whatnot.
Nice.
So
Is that going up on the Symphony's Facebook page? Where can we see that?
I'm pretty sure it'll be on their Facebook page. We're streaming live tomorrow.
So is the symphony still having performances?
Yes, we do. We do even before this whole COVID thing started. We do like 35 webcasts for them a year. So I think that's gone up. I think it's gone up since then because
they must have space. Pretty weird though. I mean, the violins are not. They're not 6 feet apart. They're right next to each other usually.
Well, it's not the full symphony. Like we've had like one or two or a quintet or a trio show up, and they're apart from each other, and then we virtually put them back together with magic of video.
Okay.
On screens and stuff.
So it is smoke and mirrors. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a lot more cool stuff you can do when it's live, but not. So, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, I like that idea. So, Sky, I like the idea of the lights. I think we should think about that and work on that. Maybe we could come up with something we could use. I like the idea of doing something at the center as kind of like a showpiece to get it going. Yeah. We could probably get a little bit of media. We could talk to the newspaper if it was well conceived enough. We could say, we're going to start it here, and then we're going to launch it out to the community. And certainly everybody's just a lot more aware that this kind of stuff is happening in communities. I mean, if you're half breathing and, see what's going on Facebook and on media and stuff, there's just a ton of interesting stuff going on. But I think if we can open people's hearts up a little bit and get them started here in Sherwood, I think that could catch fire. I like that idea a lot.
And I think it's something fairly easy that most people have the supplies for and can do, and,
What, Ava, you can help on this question. What's an image we could use that would kind of help give the seniors a little bit of a lift? Besides, congratulations, that's a big word. But is there a picture? I mean, the Bowman, that's kind of, by itself, that's kind of not so interesting. But is there some image or some outline or some icon you can think of that would be that the seniors would go, oh, cool, that's nice, thank you. That they would get that that's about them?
Like just the 2020, just.
Oh, the logo.
Yeah, just saying 2020.
Maybe with a heart.
Or with a heart, I don't know.
Toilet paper and sanitizer.
Two heart.
Say that again, Shanda.
Like two heart.
Oh yeah, that's
the zero is the heart.
Yeah.
Or the 2020 put hearts inside the zeros, so some people are too literal. They the zeros, like me. Where's the zero?
Yeah.
But that's a good one. That's a good one. Ava's so good. I mean, I thought I was going to put her on the spot and she'd be totally stumped. No, she got it. Did you get a lawn sign, by the way, or a yard sign?
Yeah, I ordered one, but we just didn't want one with a photo on it, so it'll just have her name and where she's going to school. So
that's kind of hit me a little weird too. My granddaughter's name is Lillian, and as I walked my dog yesterday, there's a woman down the street that's got a daughter, and I figured she was about Lillian's age. She's got a sign in her front yard that says, "Congratulations, Lillian," and it's got her picture. And it's like, I don't think I'd want that.
I know my friend said she got one of the signs. And a lot of people are doing it, and I think they're great. But she said it's a nice roadmap for a local serial killer to know where all the adorable teenagers are living.
Yeah, boy, she's a cutie. Make a note of that. That was my first thought. It was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, we haven't picked it up yet, but I think it'll be ready soon.
So it'll just have your name on it?
Yeah, it'll say congratulations, Ava, class of 2020, and then it'll say where she's headed off to college.
Oh, that's right. And where is that?
University of San Diego.
UCSD? Nice.
Very nice.
Nice. You will not get better weather in the country.
I know.
That is the best.
I told her no going to Mexico.
Torrey Pines, you got some great golf courses. Oh.
Golf. There you go.
Awesome. Out of all the sports you have, that's not one of your sports, but yeah. Very fun. So, well, that's all that we had on our official agenda. Are there any other any comments that people wanted to bring up for the group? If not, I think we'll go ahead and adjourn then. I don't need to get a motion to adjourn, do I? No.
I would love to ask people if you're in the meeting chat, just throw out the name Share the Light Sherwood. If we wanted to do something like that, if we want to chat further, so we don't email and don't reply all to things, but I would be happy to take your ideas if you email them to me and put them in a lump, so that we can all look at them. And there's a lot of good things out there that we can do, and the time is ripe for really encouraging our downtown area, our historic town, our fellow citizens. And I would love to keep sharing those ideas as they come to your brains.
Did you just come up with that Share the Light Sherwood?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bernie.
No, that's very cool. I like it. I was thinking, when you said that, it made me think of Shine the Light, Sherwood, but Shine the Light's one of my song titles, so that's a little selfish. But
well, we might need a song to blast over,
yeah,
one of the loudspeakers.
That's how we do things, big around here. Yeah. Sure. Any other comments?
John, I may ask you for some technical thoughts. Is that all right?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And he loves to give like hundreds of hours of time to things like this too. So he's the guy.
Oh, it's his favorite.
All I know is if you would have asked within those first 2 weeks, I was completely sitting around doing a whole lot of nada.
Well, I'm delighted to hear you went back today, then. That's exciting. Congratulations to you too.
Thanks.
That's a big damn deal. All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to adjourn for the evening. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next month. Now that we've had this trial run, we'll be that much better with it next month. Congratulations again, Ava. We're very proud of you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Congrats.
David. And thank you, Mark, for live streaming this for us.
Oh, yeah.
On YouTube.
Thank you, Mark. All right. We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.